Serious? Alright, howdy folks, welcome back. Looks like it's been a busy day on the sun, and we got a lot to report on tonight, so just hang with me here for a second. We might have to do audio here. Yeah, we got audio issues. Hang on, just bear with me, we're gonna get this solved here. Alright, just bear with me and look at the loop for a second while I get this fixed. You know how many times you put it in the corner of the hall and I come around the corner and
I never brought the fucking ladder down.
I don't want it in here. I want you to deal with the clothes that are on it so we can put the ladder back in here.
After work one of these days, maybe when I'm not like on a day off, when I get a fucking second to, I will. I'm just saying, dude, my toe is fucking broken.
I'm sorry, I not purposely put it in the middle.
You did that shit on the fucking table, dude.
I did not put it in. I shoved it off.
You put that table right there. You're the one who fucking made out. Get out. You're always fucking mad. You're always fucking weird. You're never here on planet Earth.
Hang on, folks, we're almost done with these technical difficulties here. Just bear with me for a second. What is going on here? Aha. There we go. Alright, sorry about these little difficulties we keep having here, but at least you're patient. It'll be well worth it once we get through this show. Alright, here we go. So, this is today, April 30th, 2023, and you can see our object. It's clear as a bell. It's a big one, and you can see the CME that it produced right here, and we'll freeze frame it and start going into this. Pause it here at the very opening and then start going through this frame by frame here. I think I'm a little too zoomed in at first here. That's what the problem is. Okay, now we can work a little better. Forgive me there, trying to get stuff organized, and there's always issues. Okay, so here we go. Here's our object. It's actually, there's a few good frames of it, but let's go back to this one. Yeah, right about there, and we'll zoom in that one right there. And alright, before we do that real quick, let me just unzoom it. You can see our dark patch over here on the red side, okay? I'm going to zoom in onto this over here. But note, we have the corresponding dark patch on this side that's over there. Now, let's continue to go forward through this here. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, we had distractions at the end has got me all rattled, and I'm just going to do my best to regain composure here. I think it's... Which frame was it? No, it's this, right. Nope. It's right. One of these frames has a perfect, nice little image of it. Alright. I think it's this one right here. Now, I'll zoom in just a tad bit tighter and get the tint just right so you guys can see this properly. Okay. Our black spheroid is right here. You can see the boundary line. You see this white little line in between the black sphere and the magnetic field. You can see this white little boundary line. Beneath that white line is our black spheroid. Okay, you can see the plasma that's dammed up at the back side of it right here. The instrument's reacting to it. You can see how bright and intense it is. Here in this image, you can see our round black stellar core. All right, and you can see if we tint it just right here. Let me see here. Right about there is pretty good, and now you can make out this white plasma that's around the face of it right here. Okay, you can make out, here's our black round circular object is right here. Part of it, you know, the back of it goes through this instrument, the reading right here, but you can see all the plasma down here that's built up, and boom, there's our object, nice and clear. It's believable now. Okay, you can see it. You can see the plasma draping around it. Right here, right here. You can also see this plasma bending and draping over it, right? It's bending light. Plasma is light. So that's our object right there. And it's a good capture of it right there. And that was today, April 30th, Also Impact Day, and you saw all the carnage from Florida of the passage, the first impacts of this passage of the bigger object, right? And I was telling you, it passed on the 27th, or it passed the sun on the 27th, due to pass us on the 30th, right? Today's the 30th, and boy, did we have some side effects from it. And in that little montage of tornado footage that I showed you from Florida today, uh, there's a gem in there for my second half audience. All right, for the people that are here for a solar report, let's get this out of the way. Here's our object. It's causes big CME right there. Okay, it's all draped in plasma. Okay, as we pull back, now that you know what to look for, you can see it just a tad bit better. I will retint this so we can see it a little bit better. Let me get down to 125 and get that out of there. Okay, now you can see our event up there in the corner, and it moves on out of the screen up into the numbers and the readings up in here. It's kind of bad placement, but it's okay because we got that one image, right? A bunch of them. There's like a stack of 4 of them that are nice and clear, defined. When you see the object and you know what to look for, it's nice and clear and defined right here. Even over here on the red side, it makes this nice round black ball with a little bit of plasma draped over the top of it. Beautiful imagery that God's doing here. You know, you can really see his handiwork now. It's no longer being hidden. Oh, there's a great shot right there. Let's go back to... Alright, yeah, let me zoom in on this shot right here, because this one's pretty impressive. Okay, now, our black sphere is right here. I'm drawing the circle for you. You can see, once I tint this out, you can see the boundary line right here when I tint it out. Alright, so part of it is all draped with plasma right here, okay? And this one section of it is sticking out through the plasma right here. The rest of it goes back around like that. So let's see, we tint it a little more. Oh, there we go. Wait. Now you can see it. You can at least see this boundary line right here, okay? That gives you the edge of the sphere. Well, right there. Anyways, there's a good shot of it right there. And I think the next frame was a pretty good one. And you can see as it emerges the plasma. Whoops, we gotta shift it back over. And using the arrows, it shifts the whole thing. So now you can see it right in here, and still plasma on the bottom side of it. I'm going to continue to use the arrows so we don't have to just zoom out every time. Okay. Where's this bar again? Come on, give me the bar. Alright. Let's back up some here. Alright. Yeah, you can really see it when it's going backwards. There's a good shot of it. And this whole time it has this boundary line in between the plasma and the actual spheroid. There's this fine little black or white line that defines the sphere from the plasma draping over it a little bit. It's a badass image right here. You should come over here to this site. I'll try to remember to put the link in the description. I've been putting all kinds of stuff in the descriptions and in the community page for you guys. Keep you entertained, kind of keep you learning at the same time while enjoying some music. And Okay, this is pretty much the. Look at that image. That is just. Says 1,000 words, doesn't it? When you know what you're looking at. Most people just say, "Oh, that's just a regular CME." No, 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 my friend. It's far from a regular CME. Okay. Actually, let's stay zoomed in like that. That was good. Ooh, that's even better. So I want to pull it there. So it's going to be shift around a little bit, but I'm using the arrows so you can get this zoomed in. See, now the instrument's reacting to it now because it's an intense blast. You see all this. Here's our sphere right here. This is going about half, maybe a quarter way up the bottom of it. Here, the bottom of it is right the bottom of that white line because this is plasma that's dammed up on the back side of it right there. So that's your object right there. Okay, so quite the event. I mean, they're getting more and more defined, more and more believable now. Okay, and when they pass the planet, when they're supposed to, and we see side effects from it like we're supposed to, that makes these even more believable. Okay, I'm just trying to help, hold your hand here and guide you through this. So now over to this instrument here. We'll zoom in on it real quick. And you can see that the sun has been a busy sun. Whoops, come on back over here. Give me trouble. I will keep going. All right, so here we are. This box right here is today. Let me get the pointer up. This is today right here, okay? And you can see what an M2 point something probably right there. We'll scroll down and find it. Maybe just a barely M class right here, but that's good. We're back in C range, having mid C's to low M class flares. That's some good activity out of the sun. That's showing some. At least it's still alive and crackling. It's not below the seafloor. So sometimes maybe these objects, even though they're weakening it over time, seems to make it come back to life a little bit and crackle and have some activity. Kind of double-edged sword there, you know. Okay, let me zoom back out so we can travel around this site, but without being too much in your face. Okay, so let's scroll down. No activity, no geomagnetic storms of any magnitude. Here's our the flare that it caused. Yep, M2.4. Huh? 2.4. Anyways, then we come over here. We had our auroras. They're glowing, but they're not too bad. There's no yellow or red in there. We're still absorbing stuff all the time from the sun now, so this is kind of average now to see this green all the time. So that's average aurora. Okay. Let's back out of that. Over to the tracker. We'll do some tracking. Alright, here we go. Anything on this thing? Nope, looks all nice and clear. Nope, we know it's not nice and clear, it's just not updated. Okay, out of there. Zoom back out. And good enough. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, here's our absorption right here. It's nighttime for the Western Hemisphere, so they're getting the absorption during their daylight hours, and it's not too bad right now, so that's good. Let's bounce over to the Schumann and see how well our shields are holding up. And well, look at this. All right, so there's the blast that we had the other day. I reported on it. We came out the backside of it kind of weak here. We had a screech again, but it came back to life again. Another little screech right here, but it comes back to life. Little screeches and pops and clicks. So we had this and a small absorption event that caused these little stripes. And now we have this new style of reading. I want you to look at this. This is a little different. We're gonna scooch up. I mean, it's not. I've seen it before. It's just a tad bit different reading. Now we're always concerned with the 7.83 line right here. That's the hum of our core and our shell. Okay, that's what creates our magnetic field. As you see, these screeching events cause dimness in it and weakness in it, all right, as it goes across. But look at here. This thing, this especially 7.83, has really come to life and is shining really strong. Right here, it's our 7.83 is like over producing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It should be nice and green, but here at 7.83, it seems to have had some kind of intensification of the 7.83 zone. Not anything else, just the 7.83 zone. So something's targeting the 7.83 zone or affecting that one band. Interesting, because usually it affects multiple bands across across a random, not a random region, but a impact region, right? Certain strengths for a certain amount of time, right? This is just focused mainly on the 7.83 and it glowing a lot more vibrant. It's almost as if somebody took the core and spun it a little faster inside there and made the shields glow a little more intensely than they would normally. Get it? Almost like something affected the core and made it produce a stronger magnetic field than it normally does. Especially the 7.83 hertz. That's what that indicates to me, is that is something directly affected the core and not slowed it down. It's almost as if it freed it up and the thing super spun up to catch up to where it was or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That it's the core is spinning faster than normal, even though it's in reverse, and it overproduced some magnetic field, and that's what that's showing. So, and I assume the only way we could get this reading would be from the core overspinning a little faster than our normal output. Okay, so that's good. We're still glowing. We're coming out the backside of this event. It got a little weaker after the strong field, but it's back to normal. Okay, so it came out of Superman and went back to Clark Kent or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, where are we going next, Lord? We did that. Yeah, we need to look at this now. This is getting concerning and very odd. So, this is our polar vortex. Where, you say? Well, I'm going to try to point it out for you because it has changed to a weird dragon, shall I say? Alright, it's usually up here rotating around the top of the planet. When we pull the planet down and look from the top down, zoom back out, you can see our polar vortex is no longer there. It's the very fringe right at the boundary, the blue boundary line, okay? So anything in the middle other than this would be a vortex, our polar vortex. Because this is too weak over here, there's a big break here, there's hardly anything on this side, okay? So as we rotate down here, here is that weak vortex that we've been reporting that's rotating backwards, right? Now, did this change again since I last looked at it? Oh, now, okay, yeah, it did a little bit. Let the winds kind of shift and catch up with it. Okay, so before our polar vortex was right here, rotating backwards, but it has now spread out. You see it coming up here. It gets weak, but then it comes back here. But instead of connecting and being a polar vortex, it goes backwards against the grain into Europe. Wait, wait. It crosses the boundary a little bit right here at Turkey in the Mediterranean. Let's see if I can get this just right. Okay, so it comes back, it circles back around, gets back into the flow that takes it all the way around up here. So this, let me pull back just enough to where you get to see it all. So here's your polar vortex. All right, you see it? And here, weather is straight up going backwards across Europe for quite a stretch. Let's not weather, but the polar vortex. I got to be careful with my wording, okay? But you can see here, like where the Black Sea is right here, the polar vortex is going backwards across this European part, or over Europe and Russia. It's the oddest thing, dude. I've never seen something so just oblong, go way up here, circle back around, come back, cross the boundary, get swooped up in this, and then that's our offset, severely warped polar vortex, I guess you would call it. More like a polar snail shell with a, I don't know, like almost a snail shell here with a little snail sticking out or whatever. I don't know. Just trying to be as humorous about all this serious stuff as possible. Now, this organized southern polar vortex is just scary. I don't get why it is so organized and this is just so unorganized. Well, it's because of those passing objects. They're passing to the south. Remember I was saying they're passing the south of the planet? We are not at the middle, the equatorial plane of the sun. We are a little south of the equatorial plane of the sun. So the stuff that comes off the bottom goes underneath the planet. Other stuff goes way past us and goes way above us and affects that the northern polar vortex. All right, boom, boom, boom. Let's zoom back in. Let's pull this up. Let's get out of here and go over to the chemicals because I'm a little concerned at how dark things may have gotten since our last report. Whoops, take the wind off. There we go. I don't want to look at them right now. I want to look at us. And we're kind of clearing up a little bit. This pressure is really kind of receding. It used to be from here on over was dark purple. Look at this, you guys. It's clearing up. The only place it's getting darker is like up by New York and still a little bit in the Catskills there, but not too bad. Not too bad, you guys. America's looking better. It's looking up for America. While on the other hand, not looking too well for other, let's just say, non-believing countries, or they believe in the wrong thing. We'll just say the wrong idea. Praising Allah, who is the Lord of their destruction. So, you praise your own destruction, guess what you get? Duh. Anyway, we are going to look at this, go in on these tight little all independent sites right through here, this whole area. I'm surprised it's actually still holding up and it's performing, I guess. This is what the planet has its own little mechanism for doing this, and this area hasn't been destroyed. We have these earthquakes here and there, whatever, but all this pressure is releasing from that zone, which is good, relieving pressure. Mhm. Sometimes I fear that this quiet time is kind of like pressure wave before impact, almost. Here we are at Java. Impact was today, I could tell. Here's Java, still kind of purple, going off. I'm sure we got these volcanoes still pumping out something, and we'll go over to the earthquake report and see what's been going on there lately. Okay, and we are done there. Yeah, let's go over to the earthquake report. Okay, now get rid of this side over here. Give you guys a full map. Okay. What was not nice? Somebody was saying Brian. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Somebody have a question or something? Oh, hi, John. What was not nice? Okay, well, maybe he's not talking to me. Anyways, I'm going back to report. Just addressing people, saying hi. Bless you people in the chat. Let's go back to this. Here's earthquakes. Remember I was just saying that spot has not had too many earthquakes? Well, here we go. A 4.4 at a depth of 172 and 4.6. That's all scrubbing off energy just off the plate. That's perfect. I'll take that all day long. That's good news a little bit. Ooh, over here at Italy or Greece, 5 point, no, that's Italy, 5.2 at Italy at a depth of 250. That's a semi-deep quake at Italy. I bet you they're having volcanic activity and stuff over there. Let's come over here and just start working the system here. Boom. This is a 5.1 in the Kermadex. That's 32 depths, so that's energy being scrubbed off. That's perfect. I like 5.1. That's a good number. 5.1. Let's see what's going on here. Another 5.1 at a depth of 28. You guys are seeing the numbers, right? Wait, let me get these numbers so you can. All right. First, that was a 5.1. Okay. 5.1 energy coming along. This is This is a 4.7, almost a 5. That's good. That's more energy being scrubbed off. So we come to this one. This is the other 5.1 at a depth of 28.6. Perfect. We have 5.1 energy being scrubbed off just right. Let's see what's this up here. Another 5.1 at the Ryukyu Islands in Japan. So, look at this. 5.1, 5.1, 5.1. All this 5.1. This is 4.7. That's that 5 to mid, that mid-high 4 range to 5.1 range. Going all the way up the system. Let's boom. 4.3. That's a kind of a deep quake here at Japan. That's a 402. We better go look in this here. What went on over here? This is a 5.1. Oh, there's a second one. It's a 5.0 behind it. So we had a little. Ooh, what else is hiding? Hey, 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 hey. You guys, stacking these. 5.3 at a depth of 6.8. That's a shallow quake. 5.1 again at a depth of 8.4. 5.9, that's almost a 6 at a depth of 10. 5.0 there. We did that one. So 5.1, another 5.1. So two 5.1s. How many do we have? 5.1s or something like that. Then this is a 5.3. the 5.9, almost 6 right there. So look at this, you guys. There's a little 5.1 to almost 6 energy being released in a swarm here south of Japan. It makes it look like it's just one quake, but that was a stack. You saw that, right? This is off of Tokyo, off of Japan, at 4.3 at a depth of 36. Japan's having some activity now, 4.4, 4.5. So all mid-range fours, scrubbing off energy. You see this three-way junction, this focal point here. It's another focal point. So that's where you're going to see the energy scrubbed off, is in that area. And it's mid-4 range, which is beautiful. That's perfect, because with the amount of deep energy that we had come out of Fiji with those 6s and mid-5s and stuff, I was very concerned about the pressure at the surface and a big quake. And that the odds of that big quake are being reduced with all the scrubbing off of energy along the system. 4.5, all this mid 4 range to 5.1, all the way, look at that, all the way from the very beginning up the chain. So mid 4 range to 5.1, energy coming in, 3 there to no depth on that, 3.2, could be some energy traveled, maybe. Remember last time after this pinch point, it was like 5 range, and then after the pinch point, it came in at like 3 magnitude. So it looks to be doing the same thing again. I would expect to see it make it over the hump, drop off a couple of 3 to 3.2, 3 threes or whatever in the Juan de Fuca area, or off the point right here where they all come together. In fact, we got something inland from there. 2.5. No, that's not it. That's not it, even at all. Okay, let's go down here, because we've had this event going on here in Salton Sea. And what do we have today? 4.3, 3.0, and so a couple of 3s and a 4.3 down there today. So still possible mid-4 potential activity down here at the Salton Sea. Okay, that's like a little quake swarm. That other energy being scrubbed off, 2.6. That almost looks like, what's the time on this? It's 1915, 1904. And give me one of these. That's good enough. I think it's just energy that's being kind of scrubbed off. It's having a quake swarm here, and like either the energy that's bottled up here is traveling south, or it's coming from the south. It's bottled up and it's dropping off quakes, backing up down this fault down to the Cocos Plate. There's our quake right there. 4.5, mid-4 range quake. That's that energy being dumped off at a depth of 56. Is it on the shelf? Perfect. Perfect. It's not over here on a cliff or anything like that. That's what we like to see. I think, you guys' prayers are really... When I look at this map, I see answered prayers is what I see. Because there should be a lot bigger quakes. Something big, devastating should have taken this area out. And I believe, because I know how the spiritual realm works, it's your quakes that have really kept this all down to this 5.1. This is beautiful. I mean, it's good. I'll take this, because it could be much worse, and this is good. So, and no new deep quakes. No new deep quakes in this area to report, so it looks like, even though today was quite a day, it looks like our earthquake activity wasn't so violent for all that happened. Where are we going? Wrong instrument. Yeah, we're done there. That's why. Okay. Oh, this one. There we go. Okay, let's get this loop playing. I got something special for you in the gym, and then I got to wrap it up and get a little rest because the battle never ends, and I get exhausted, and I have to get some kind of rest. What am I doing? Oh, there we go. So we get to the beginning of the loop here. Bing. All right. Back it up frame. So, oh wow. So that's right. It's nighttime in New York. They're undergoing their event right now as we speak. It's probably even past this part now. It's probably moved more to this part of the event. We should go over to another weather app and look at that later. What I'm going to do is I'm back up to the very beginning. Here we are, April 30th. You can see our date and time up here. April 30th, 11 p.m. Pacific translates to 1, 2 in the morning in this area. And we're having violent thunderstorms. We'll look at a radar, but this is the GFS model for the next few days here. I'm going to go ahead and start this and take a quick cigarette. I'll be right back. Oh, good. It looks like it dissipates. Wow. Did you see that? How intense it was and it just dissipated? I'll be right back. Oh, Lord, give me strength to do this part. This is like the hardest part. I really don't like to do this part. It must be done. I know. Makes me like a jerk. I love this job. I love Adrian. Thanks for giving me the strength to do it. Let's get on with this. Alright, thanks for hanging with me. You have to forgive me. I got a little PTSD after today's event. So, that winds up and just dissipates. That's kind of beautiful. I like that. It takes its fury out on New York, it looks like, and then just kind of it winds up, but it kind of dissipates. So once we get through this, we'll go frame by frame. There's another event right there we should look at. So two events, the winding up of this last one, and that event like a week away. So current conditions according to GFS. We'll go over to radar and look. That'll be they'll be waking up to this up in Maine probably. You see all this snow circling back around, coming back down into Wisconsin in the Great Lakes area. So prepare for snow in that area, okay? And thunderstorms up in Maine. Now it goes up into Canada. It kind of does this wind up. Now that's the end of convection at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., May 1st, okay? So at the end of today, May 1st now. No, it's not. It's actually, well, it will be soon here. by the end of that day, that'll be this tight ball like this, all right? And at the end of convection, I have a feeling it may have picked up energy and might be more intensified. This snow that's coming in might be a pretty severe snow event, more than what this is showing. Okay, and you understand why. Then, as it dissipates, you see it winding up and just kind of spitting out all of its energy, and then it moves offshore and leaves. The country's kind of sparsely scattered, but another low forming right here. I think that's our next one. Okay, the way this trough is driving up like that, see how it's made this arrow shape? See this bottom half of the arrow? This is where I'm going to be concerned about these pop-up thunderstorms here in Texas. That's going to be May 4th at, let's back up the frame to right before it begins, right there at 5, 6, 7 p.m., the end of convection. Then the next frame goes into the night at 2 in the morning, roughly 1, 2 in the morning in Texas. Nocturnal thunderstorms with the possibility of tornadoes. We'll go look at the Cape and everything too. And you see how this drives this way. See how the upper arm, let's back up a little bit, comes in. It takes this arrow shape and then drives this part of the arrow down. So watch, boom, boom. So this part right here is going to be intense, the very tip of the arrow right there. And that's at 7 a.m. May 5th for these people in Illinois, Arkansas, or Missouri, sorry. Texas, Dallas, just outside of Fort Worth, going into Louisiana a little bit there. Okay. Then you see how it really kind of points and keeps driving this tip down that way. There's still the possibility in this whole green zone right there at that tip. From this part of the tip to this part of the tip, that whole green area, I would watch carefully. Then you see how it really drives down the moisture from that tip, really drives down into Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, that region. And then you see how it arches back and it's picking this moisture up, and we have a second wing, like a second wing and a lower wing with this tip that drove out in front, okay? Now, as this low kind of comes in and really disrupts it and breaks it apart, but then it drives really low, picks up moisture down here at Mississippi on May 6th. That's the end of convection on May 6th. So Mississippi, Louisiana area possibly. And then everybody, watch out, this low is going to come in again and bring up pop-up thunderstorms here, possibly here. It could be anywhere on the southern half of this low, right in this area. So this is going to change. All right, this is not set in stone, but this is a rough estimate of what we're going to see. It kind of breaks up, but this low is still there, and it picks up more energy again, starts to go comma-shaped. The tail of the comma down here that's broken off picks up moisture again and throws it at Dallas-Fort Worth area again. Boom. So they're under the gun for multiple events. Let's go back real quick. That right there is going to be 7 p.m., the end of convection, May 8th. Possibly thunderstorm, tornado outbreak, large hail again. Every one of these thunderstorms now is just going to start producing large hail, I think. I have to be the bearer of bad news, but I can see the way these things are gelling and forming and coming together. Even though we're not getting, massive, huge, devastating tornadoes out of them, in exchange, we're getting massive, huge, destructive hailstorms that are totaling cars, shattering windows, you know, perforating roofs and ceilings, and just doing all kinds of mayhem to all kinds of people. So when you see these yellow things, don't just think tornado, think hail as well. And we're getting gorilla hail, we got to pray against that too. Pray for relief from the hail, endurance to endure what does fall. We can't stop everything, but we can endure what mercy God throws our way. Okay, even if it's semi-destructive, you got to be thankful that it didn't wipe it clean or whatever. So it could always be worse. So now back to this. Oklahoma Panhandle, top of Texas there, Texas. Mid-Texas on, this is at night, May 9th, at like 1, 2 in the morning. Okay, we're going to have some of these nocturnal events, it looks like. So it's time for those weather radios. If you're going to go to sleep, have some kind of alert system while you're sleeping, because this stuff is volatile and it could change in a heartbeat. Now, here we are again at the end of convection on May 10th. Okay, and you see, if I pull this down a little bit, I want to get just as much of it as I can. I'm going to back up the frame from 2 p.m. to the end of convection on May 10th. Back up to the end of convection. It's going to be Texas, Oklahoma area again. This low, depending on how far down it drives, how fast it moves in, one of these possible another objects in the tail of this huge, massive system, going to come in and form another low vortex, possibly. Jolynn Gehall. Yes, Jolynn, I see you calling my name. Do you have a question or a statement or something? I see you. Bless you. And until then, I'm just going to keep reporting on this until I see your next little comment. But you can see the leading edge of this big low. This is like almost like a derecho type thing. Oh, that does not look good. This is overnight, you guys. This is at 2 in the morning for Oklahoma. That will not be good. Let's pray this changes. Then, as we go through the morning hours, it moves into Arkansas, Louisiana, the border region, and kind of dissipates. Now, this is the end of convection, and that's the afternoon. I believe that this moisture will blossom more than what it just shows, because at the end of convection, it shows these thunderstorms up in here. I think the southern half down here is going to blossom a little bit more, too. Let it play and stop reporting bad news like that. Well, I'm not reporting bad news. This news sucks. I have to report on it. So, I'm just saying, if you don't like the way the weather is, then get an umbrella. Or just take heed. All I'm trying to do is say take heed, okay? I see people dying. I hear their screams, and it's not fun. I'm trying to avoid a lot of pain and suffering. Boom, boom. I bless you anyways, even if you disagree, it's okay. Then it keeps moving up. This is the end of convection on May 12th. Now you see how organized this low has gotten from the afternoon to the end of convection. You're going to have quite the event then. Boom. Okay, so there's the low. Look how this tail is like dragged way down here. We got Oklahoma, Texas. These are getting red now down in here. So this event is another nocturnal event, May 12th. And we have icing up here and a snow event. So this big low, that'll change, but it's quite the, and you look at this tail, how dragged out this tail. It gets kind of separated, but all this moisture back here remains, and it still has that energy. And that's, all right, right here, this will be the end of convection on May 13th. My son's birthday. My other son. I have 2 boys. Anyways, the Dallas-Fort Worth, Waco area. You know, that Waco series has been playing on TV, and I watched a lot of lies and deception in there. I don't think that would be a good idea to be pulling that kind of stuff right now, because you just kind of put a bullseye on Waco now. And let's pray for this area in Waco and Dallas, and you see how many events just go crossing over that area. All right, it even goes, kind of splits and heads south a little bit to the very tip, and that's the end of convection on May 14th. So it's just boom. Texas is under the gun. This low, look at this. Go back a frame. It doesn't look too impressive, but this low is way up here, and look at its tail is still dragged down here. Then it gets organized right here at the coast and moves offshore just in the nick of time. All right, so that's the very tail end. It's the least reliable at the very end, but the opening frames are the most reliable. The deeper we go, the less reliable it gets. So it looks like this thing wraps up tonight, moves on out. We have this arrow type effect come in, the tails split off, and it gives Texas these multiple day events right there. Again, right here. And again, right here. So Texas, Texas, Texas. 3 times Texas. Be on the alert. You just saw what happened in Florida. These storms are no joke anymore. You know, they're extremely volatile. By what I mean volatile, it could look like just nothing and turn into a monster, or it could be a monster and turn into nothing. So that's what I mean by volatile. It could be, you know, either way at any moment. It's just so hard to predict. Well, the objects, inbound objects, make it almost easier to predict. This is clearly obvious, the effect of the passage of this object. That vortex is, you know, our magnetic field interacting with the magnetic field of the larger object. Is basically, it's going to have some kind of effect, right? And that's the kind of effect you would see. It would affect the weather, especially a big giant low like that. Okay, so I believe we are done with all the solar weather reporting. We're about to move into the spiritual realm reporting and tonight's gem. That means only the brave stick around. The rest of you go away. For your own good. I'm not trying to be mean, but for your own good, if you can't stomach this stuff, if it's too scary, don't watch it. Tune out. First, we need to talk about this channel, Wild Weather US. Go over there, give them a thumbs up. Give them a subscribe. Ring their bell. They did an awesome job at reporting this. One of the videos that viewer sent in that he reports that it's going to be shown where that car flipped. Remember I showed you that? Let's say something else happened in that event that is quite disturbing, and is the reason why I have PTSD tonight. Okay, it's we'll just have to get to it when we get to it. Okay, so for the moment, what I'm going to do for educational purposes only, I'm going to play the sound in this whole report, because this whole report has information that verifies what we've been talking about. There is also a auditory hidden message. You know, the spirit box messaging that I was telling you about? During one of the eyewitnesses recording, there was an EVP captured in the gentleman's recording, and after I heard it, and when you hear it, you guys will be happy. It's great news for you. It's just hard for me. Okay, so let's just start off with just the report, and this report is important. We're giving this guy credit, okay? I'm using this for educational purposes. This is not monetized. I do not make money off of this. It's non-profit. Hopefully everybody understands the significance of the educational value of me doing other videos like showing other people's work. I'm not trying to take credit for that. I'm trying to give them credit and support. That being said, I like to clear the air. Okay, now let's get this report started while I tend to a whole another battle that just blossomed, and I'll keep juggling you guys at the same time. So let's get audio going up and going here. Do a little audio test. No.
Oh my god.
The severe weather upended cars, broke windows, and downed trees on Saturday. Residents were warned to stay clear of falling power lines.
Now this is Florida. We saw. I told you this storm was coming in. We watched the Cape.
A storm system that spawned tornadoes tore through an area near Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, on Saturday, damaging homes and flipping cars, according to officials and witness accounts.
That's what Texas should be get ready to expect.
James Ippolito, the deputy, left a man trapped between. The man had been transported to a hospital, he said. The Palm Beach Gardens Police Department asked the public to avoid an area east of the Intracoastal Waterway due to storm damage and because roads were blocked.
I'm gonna get sick. Oh, maybe I shouldn't tell them. I have to. Why do I have to? Better off they don't know.
The village of North Palm Beach said on Twitter that police officers, fire rescue teams, and staff members from the Public Works Department were checking the area after a tornado touched down around 5:45 p.m.
I can't do it yet. Let the report play. Then do it right. It happens in this scene where this car flips. Listen to the auditory message.
The village said no injuries had been reported.
Okay. You probably couldn't hear it, and we will go back over it later after this report's over. Every time I watch it, it says it again. Okay. Let this report run. I'll explain
The
here in a
National
minute.
Weather Service in Miami said on.
So do you see it more of a trend where people are leaving their jobs in the traditional 9 to 5 hours and doing their own thing?
Are
No,
you
it's definitely
kidding me?
bigger than that.
In the middle of an important
A tornado
report,
had
you gotta
hit
have it
near
ad.
Palm Beach Gardens, and that it was surveying the damage.
Oh. Alright, help me with this, Lord. What am I gonna do?
The Storm Prediction Center had issued a tornado watch, which meant conditions were
I'm
favorable
hoping
for
some of you will
tornadoes
go away,
and severe
so I don't have to
thunderstorms.
do it
For
to
much of
many
central
people.
Florida from the Gulf of Mexico to the
Oh, my
Atlantic Ocean,
ears are ringing.
the watch remained in effect on Saturday until 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, boy. Pretty violent winds. Those are like straight line winds, too, you guys. That's not from the tornado. That's just your straight line winds going along with the thunderstorm.
Photos shared on Twitter showed the aftermath of the storm, with one person describing feeling an extreme pressure change as the system moved through.
Did you hear that? An extreme pressure change. Oh, I'm going to die right now, please.
Other images showed cars resting against one another, broken windows in a house, and downed trees. In an update after the damage was reported, forecasters said that the threat of severe weather would persist in the watch area, and that there could be a brief tornado or two, wind damage, and hail. The reports on Saturday came after days of severe weather in parts of Florida, with 3 tornadoes hitting Hosford, about 30 miles west of Tallahassee, on Thursday, downing trees and power lines and damaging homes. In Lynn Haven, about 50 miles southwest of Hosford, residents reported golf ball-size hail. At least 4,000 customers lost electricity in the powerful storm, according to Power Outage. U.S. More than 11 million residents were under the original tornado watch that covered most of the peninsula during the afternoon and evening.
Okay, we're almost there, B. We're almost there, folks. Hang on. One last prayer.
A second round of severe weather was expected to impact South Florida on Sunday as a trailing cold front finally swept through the Sunshine State. On Sunday morning, more than 16 million people were placed under a tornado watch that included
Good.
much
Hopefully
of the Florida
aboard some of
Peninsula
you and some of you left. Okay, good. Now, you hear how intense it's hitting the window? That's why it's important to stand back from the windows when having these hail events, okay, you guys? please, for your own good, just be careful when you're getting your video and stuff that you don't get shards of glass in your face, okay? Now, this next part that we're going to deal with is the auditory EVPs, alright? I do not condone EVP work, okay? This was accidentally picked up during this event when the car flips, okay? A couple of things I need to explain here before I guess we get into this. Now, there are sound effects in this gentleman's video, okay? And it's the sound effects that go along with this storm. In the sound effects, there is, let's just say, it's not demonic and it's not angelic voice. It's a voice from the other side saying a message, saying my name. And when you hear it, at first it's going to sound fuzzy and weird, but this is where I'm going to try to get the audio just right. This is where you guys that are ears to hear, that need to hear this, put on some headphones, and I'm going to replay it several times. I'll point out in the segment where, what time, and then I'll post that link in there so you guys can hear this EVP for yourselves clearly, not through my hokey little audio device here, okay? I don't want you to think that I'm the one that put this message in this man's video. I want you to come over to this channel, this news report, and hear it for yourself, okay? Now, this message that's hidden in there, it goes along with the images of Jesus in the sky turning into a lion, okay? So that would be good news for you guys, right? Okay, so rejoice at this little message that's going to come through, and I'll play it several times so you guys can hear it. I'll even voice over the message so you can hear it, and then replay it so you can hear it clearly, all right? So, I'll try to adjust the volume so it's not too loud for you guys, but this is where you might want to use earbuds, headphones, because we're listening now to an EVP, an electric voice print left by the spiritual realm on they're captured all the time on all kinds of devices. This happened to be, was sent to me. This message was sent to me because I was guided to this event and told to replay it, and I'm like, why am I replaying it? It's just the car flipping over. And it wasn't until I heard the auditory message in it, okay? Now, this is captured a few times in this video, okay? So I guess I'm just going to let it rip, and we'll dissect it slowly. Maybe we'll slow the speeds up and down so it'll come in a little clearer. Okay, so we're going to back up to right before this car enters the frame over here on the left, okay? He's filming the tornado moving through, right? This car was just off to the side of him, like behind him, and it comes from behind, out of frame, flipping into frame, all right? As the car, right before the car enters the frame, you'll hear the auditory message, Brian Knight is coming. All right? And then it says some other stuff too. But we'll first just listen carefully for the first 3 words of Brian Knight is coming. And it says it several times. It says an entire phrase several times in this video. Okay? And this is a news report that God directed me to, and I'll just do it, Brian. Fuck, I don't like doing this stuff, man. I really don't. But it's good news for you guys, so bad news for others. Now I gotta do it not too loud because I got people here sleeping, so. All right. All right, it said it 2 times. It says Brian Knight is coming. The car flips into screen. It just as it lands on its wheels, it was going to land on its roof. It ends up doing an extra flip, and it says Brian Knight is coming, and it lands on all 4 wheels. So I'm going to play this auditory message again. It goes in sync with this video because I help save these people. Okay. It's the oddest stuff, I know, you guys, but it's just watch and listen carefully. I'm not an egomaniac. This is actually in the video. Wait. Did you hear the whole message? Okay, let's go play it again.
The village said...
All right. It says Brian Knight is coming. The car flips, it lands. It says Brian Knight is coming a second time. Then it says he's coming like a lion. And then he says, let's hear it again.
No.
All right, here we go. Like a lion.
The village said no injuries had been reported.
And he's God, is what it said. Brian Knight is coming. Brian Knight is coming. He's coming like a lion, and he's God. Now listen closely, because that message later on, in about another minute after this guy narrates, and it goes back to this video, the later segments of this same video, it repeats the same message a second time. So we're going to start again and listen closely. Brian Knight is coming. Brian Knight is coming. He's coming like a lion, and he's God. It says this scene where the car flips over, and then later when he's still filming the car sitting there, the EVP comes back again and says the same phrase a second time. So let's start again. Oh, help me, God. This is the hardest part.
The village said no injuries had been reported, but it asked residents to limit outside activity and to be alert for power lines or other dangers.
All right, and they cut it off right there. So twice during this gentleman's videoing of this car tumbling, twice it says Brian Knight is coming. Brian Knight is coming. He's coming like a lion, and he's God. Then the narrator comes in, narrates something, and then his voice disappears, and it goes back to this man's video where that same EVP a second time says the same message. Brian Knight is coming. Brian Knight is coming. He's coming like a lion, and he's God. I'm going to play it again. I told you the storm was coming, alright? Oh, we went a little too far. Let's get back to right where it was. Did I go too far? Yes, I did. There it is. Yeah.
The village said no injuries had been reported, but it asked residents to limit outside activity and to be alert for power lines or other dangers.
Okay? Alright, imagine my shock when God led me to this video, had me replay this car flipping over and over again. He'd tell me, oh, maybe I should put this in my intro, this car flipping, right? Because it's a pretty dramatic video, right?
The village said no injuries.
All right, so that is our gem for tonight. I knew this. I've been getting these EVPs through my stereo for a long time. Okay, that's how I knew about EVPs in the first place, is because it happens to me when I'm trying to listen to my music. I'll listen to a regular old radio station that's broadcasting over FM radio, and something will come in over the music, step on the broadcast, like a CB radio broadcast. You can step on another person if you have a more powerful broadcast. Something will come and step on the broadcast of the local radio station and send an EVP at me. Very disturbing EVPs that have given me post-traumatic stress on a level that, well, there's a new term for it, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, I'm not trying to be an egotistical person saying, oh, it's all about me, it's all this or whatever. I'm just telling you what God has led me to and what I have discovered. I will put the link to this in the description. You can come over to the video yourself and get the clearer audio than my hokey little stereo with some stupid little headsets taped to the side of a speaker. That is like the lamest audio system ever. And I rely on the most clearest audio possible so you guys can hear this. So it's very frustrating for me to have to report on this stuff and you guys not hear it. And it makes me look like crazy, like insane, makes me look like egomaniac, when quite the opposite. I'm trying to be as forgiving and humble about all this as I can. It's excruciatingly painful what I have to go through privately that you guys don't know about. These humiliating tortures that I showed you are actually happening to me. Oh, here, you guys will like this part. Remember I showed you the devil manifesting outside my window, okay? Well, now that entity is now part of me. And I've been trying to explain that to you guys for a while. And, but the good news is, since he is now residing in my body, He is being tortured just like Jesus was. Currently, the devil is walking in the shoes of Jesus, and he is now being afflicted and tortured. And this is an entity that likes to administer pain, but that is a coward that doesn't like to receive pain. And me, I'm an individual that likes to absorb pain. I like pain because it makes me feel alive. Okay? I thrive on pain. It's hard to explain, but you guys do it too. If you had a mosquito bite and it itches, what do? You scratch it, right? Well, you're inflicting more damage and pain to it, and it soothes you, and you inflict pain on yourself. Scratching a mosquito bite, that's inflicting pain. It's the same thing. It's the same mechanism in the brain. Say you have a sore tooth in your mouth, you keep flicking it with your tongue and keep activating that nerve to feel how sensitive it is in your mouth. And your brain has this mechanism where you keep flicking it, you keep doing it over and over and over because secretly you like pain. You just didn't know it till I told you right now. Huh. Yeah, I explained that to the doctor. He about fell out of his chair. I go, yeah, you like pain. He goes, no, I don't. I say, yeah, watch this. About 5 minutes later, he was getting up off the floor, trying to sit back in his chair. I go, see, I didn't even touch you. You fell out of the chair all on your own. Anyway, these EVPs are real. Okay, don't go messing around with them because you're opening portals to other dimensions and stuff. This one is sending a good message. This one you're allowed to listen to because it's sending a good message of hope to you. Okay? You think I would be thrilled to hear this, right? Everybody wants to be God, right? No, you don't. It is the hardest affliction ever known to man. All right, it's excruciatingly painful. You do not want to walk in my shoes with two shattered feet, two shattered hips, a shattered shoulder, a torn uh, scapula. My muscles that go up behind my scapula are all pulled and torn on the backside of my lungs, so I can barely breathe. I can barely cough, walk. I mean, it's excruciating torture just breathing and just walking. My whole body throbs in pain. Not just one little toe. Oh, I got a hangnail. No, my entire fucking body throbs in pain. And when I try to lay down to go to sleep, there's only one position I can sleep in. And if I'm a millimeter off, it hurts. If I'm a millimeter the other way, it hurts. I got to be right in between those 2 millimeters in that one position to be able to nod off, and I still feel the pain in my shoulder in my sleep. I will forever feel the pain in my shoulder, forever. I'm blessed with a affliction called eternal pain, and it's an eternal pain in my shoulder that would drive you mad. But I eat it for breakfast every day, and still pitch a baseball and do daily activities like I don't even have a problem. But it's excruciatingly painful, and I wince in pain. I try to hide it the best I can, but it comes to the surface. You wince in pain when, your whole sciatic nerve from your foot all the way up your leg, through your hip socket, go up your back and up into your head. That entire nervous system lights up like your whole sciatic nerve system lights up like somebody smashed it with a sledgehammer. Between a sledgehammer and some concrete, just splattered your whole sciatic nerve system. And that's each step that I take. Because now, it used to be every other step. It was only one hip and on one side of my body. Now the other hip is blown out, so now each step. The left one is excruciating. The right one's now excruciating. I used to use a cane because I had to limp because it was all left leg, right? So my right leg had to compensate for it. So I would limp. Well, bad news turned into good news. The other second blown out hip hurts so bad it hurts equally as the other hip, and now I don't favor the one so much, and I can walk without a cane. It's just twice as painful, but I don't need the cane anymore. And since I like pain, I'm out there running laps. I'm getting in shape. I'm running laps with two shattered hips. That's what I'm telling you guys. You need to be doing push-ups. Okay, spiritual push-ups. If it's painful, that's the best kind. That's your spiritual growth is done through pain. It's the only way you learn. You tell somebody, don't touch it, it's hot. They go, oh, come on. And they touch it. Ow! Well, I told you, dummy, it's hot. Well, nobody learns until they experience it themselves. Experience is the best teacher. Experience makes you an expert. Thus, the root word expert, experience. You cannot be an expert by having a piece of paper or a diploma on your wall. That does not make you an expert. You may have gone through all these classes and all these professors that blew a bunch of smoke up your ass, and you paid a bunch of money for a piece of paper that's all it's good for is wiping your ass or starting a fire. Real knowledge is found in the Bible. It's found spiritually. It's a code to live by. You do unto others, you have them do unto you. It's pretty simple stuff. Really, should I try to fire up Betsy? Want me to show them this? Why not? We did all the work getting it going. So, hang on. We're going to add a special gem to the end. Since I see some people hung out here, we're going to let this kind of play for a minute while I fire up Betsy. And I'll let you listen to the audio thing again. Alright. While I fire up Betsy here.
Activity Village said.
Oh, let's slow it down. That's right. Okay, yeah, we slowed it down a little
The
bit.
village said no injuries had been reported, but it asked residents to village.
All right, I slowed it down to 0.75.
The village said no injuries had been reported, but it asked.
All right, there was slowed down. You could hear it a little clearer, I think.
Power lines
I could.
and other dangers.
Yeah, they cut it right at the last part of the message there. Let me go to the very first part again. And it's during the car. I was trying to capture that car flipping, and I heard the auditory message.
The village.
All right. And at first, when I first heard that, I thought the voice said, and he's mad. And I'm like, no, I am mad, but I'm not quite that mad. And then I thought, oh, it said I'm bad. Yeah, 'cause I am bad. Yeah. And I thought, yep, it's saying Brian Knight is bad. And then I listened a little closer, and it's actually saying Brian Knight, or it says Brian Knight's coming, Brian Knight's coming. Um, he's coming like a lion, and he's God. I thought it said, and he's mad, but it says, and he's God. Well, that's the same coded message in the music, too. So I got all these angels showing up, these faces. I got this birthmark on my side. I got this birthday of Easter. I got all this stuff, that's paranormal stuff that's happening to me. And then I got God leading me to the segment of this video, making me watch the car tumble over and over again. Play it again, play it again, play it again. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool clip. I'm going to keep it and use it in the intro. No, play it again. I'm like, yeah, I saw it. No, play it again. I'm like, what are we playing it over and over for? And that's when I heard the auditory message in it. And I think some of you who have experience with these EVPs could hear that one pretty clearly. Usually those EVPs are very hard to decipher, right? And you didn't hear it at first until I kind of spelled it out a little bit, but then you could hear it clearly. That's how a lot of these things work. At first you detect it saying something, but you can't quite clearly make out what it is. But then I pray to God and ask Him for discernment, and the message becomes crystal clear. That's how I'm able to determine what they're saying, by praying to God for discernment, and He tells me the message in there. And then I'm quite shocked to find out that it's me who's been doing this to me. What is going on? This has been the most radical roller coaster ride any human could ever go through. It's like the world revolves around you, and I'm like, I don't want that. I'm just some normal dude who's trying to raise his kids, you know, in a hard world. I'm just struggling like the rest of you. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through everything. You know, I can relate to you guys, because I've been in prison. I've been locked up. I've been, not for breaking the law or doing anything wrong, for being misunderstood, because people don't understand. They won't get 5 minutes of my time to sit down and watch one of my videos. Instead, they'll just throw me in a jail. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You don't even know who I am or what's going on. You should take a little peek before you just throw me in, lock me up with no charges. You see what happened? Do you guys see what happened now? And now do you see why the devil has had to step in to me now? And in the weirdest ways, it's working. The devil is being taught a lesson. He's being physically tortured to death. And I'm making sure of that. Okay? I'm going to run his ass into the ground until I die. If I have to. For you guys. Alright? So, I hope you learned a lot tonight. I'm going to leave this video. Oh, one last thing. The timestamp for the video, for that segment, starts right about 2:28. The whole video is just chocked full of all this damage that happened in Florida. From that storm that I was pointing out was going to hit them. And I told you it was going to hit on this day, and to watch out. And what did it do? It tumbled a bunch of cars and stuff. There's another segment. Where is it? Here, it's very opening. Watch this.
Trees on Saturday.
Watch up here in front.
Warned to stay clear of falling power lines.
The vortex picks up that car. Did you see that? Here, let's go to this one more time. See that one?
Were warned to stay clear of falling power lines.
See that car get coin flipped?
fallen power lines.
Okay? Now imagine
Fallen power is unsevered.
you're driving along
Residents were warned to stay clear of fallen power lines.
and your car gets sucked up in the air and tossed. Those people survived. But let's just say they are terrified now. They have PTSD too because they were in a near-death experience. All of these people that survive these end up having some kind of mental, not everybody, but a lot of people have mental issues after such a traumatic event. Then there are people who go through these events and come out the backside stronger. They actually grow. They go out and they help other people and they feel a sense of accomplishment because they help their dying neighbor and they save their life. All right? This is the time when heroes are made. You're either a hero or a zero. And either way, I still like you. Okay? If you're a zero, then I can save you. I can rescue you. If you're a hero, good job. You're performing like Jesus would, and that's what we want. It's that mediocre crowd, that just kind of doesn't give a shit. They got it easy, and they complain. They got everything they want, and they just complain. Never happy. They've never been through any kind of attrition or, heartache or hardship in their life. How about betrayal? How about straight up betrayal by a family member that stabs you in the back multiple times over and over again by a loved one, supposed loved one, that claims they love you? See, enduring stuff like that, that's a spiritual warrior right there. So when your family does that to you, as my crowd, as my followers, my disciples, you guys got to do the same thing and just be forgiving. They know not what they do. You guys now know what you're doing, but they have no effing clue about what's going on. And you could do them a real big favor by just dropping some hints. You don't have to tell them, Brian, not God. You could send them to my channel, and they could watch videos on their own and learn on their own. But it's time the truth come out, okay? And the spiritual realm knows it. Everybody, the rest of the universe knows it. It's just these last few idiots on the planet here haven't figured it out yet. You guys aren't that last few idiots. You are the remnant who have wound up here at this channel, who are truly blessed. You that are watching this right now, replay, watching it live, you who are watching it right now as I'm talking to you in your ear right now, a miracle happening right now, me talking to you, how blessed you truly are, okay? And every single individual that hears this message, I am going to bless you and your entire family bloodline, because that's what took to get you here at my channel at this moment in time, in my moment of need. Because you guys are actually praying for me. I hear it. I know some of you have figured it out and you're excited now. You should be. You should rejoice. Be excited. You only got to endure a little bit, but it's nothing like what I have to go through, okay? So let me take on all the other stuff. You guys just ride it out, endure the best you can. If things go easier on you if you pray for each other, right? And you're going to see a bunch of probably disruption in the world now because the big secret's out. And you guys are front row seat. How about that? Doesn't that make you feel special now? Because you guys are. I love you dearly. You guys are truly real followers. You are truly real disciples. This is the real deal. Hear my voice. You should hear my character. You should see my character by the videos I do. You know, when I make a mistake, I admit it, right? When somebody else did all the legwork, I give them the credit, right? Don't you see me by my character? Can you recognize me now? Because a long time ago, I said you probably wouldn't recognize me if I came back. Oh, sure we would. We would recognize. Oh, you're unmistakable. You're so unique. And we. Oh, you sure? I could walk around public right now and nobody even fucking knows. I could walk right up to you unless you recognize my voice as one of my viewers or have seen my face briefly in one video. You might recognize what I look like. But to the rest of the world, I can walk amongst you and just walk right up to you and smile and see how sad you are, and I can brighten your day. I've been walking around my town, lifting people's spirits everywhere I go. I show them those images of Jesus in the clouds right at the site it was taken. And the people go, wait a second, that was taken right here over that mountain right there. I said, yep, that event took place right there. And they're like, but that's right above my store. I go, yeah, and your store is blessed. And now everybody in this town is happy, and they're blessed. And all the carnage happening around the world, we got this nice little hedge of protection over our town. And we're thriving because we have a happy community of some good old folk that do unto others as they would have done to them. If you guys had your communities in order like that, you wouldn't see the spiritual repercussions happening to the community. This is the spiritual repercussion of the shit that they did themselves. Right? Right? Ta-da! It's not too tough to figure out. Wherever you see the carnage, it's because of the people that are there. They're the ones that just did not have any faith, courage, integrity, morals, nothing. False doctrine, false idols, you name it. Not one of them is over here at my channel enjoying my hard work and being a part of the family. You guys are. You guys are actually part of the family now. Okay? And I get to choose. It's my job to choose. And I choose people that enjoy my work, that respect my hard work and my sacrifice. And that's you guys. And you are beautiful. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be justly rewarded. Despite any kind of sins you have done, trust me, I've been there, done that too. That's why I'm able to forgive so easily. Especially for people that are downtrodden and have actually overcome. Boy, are you going to be rewarded. The other people who step on us and smash us, well, they made their bed. They're going to lay in the bed that they made. And that's what will be done upon them in the spiritual realm for eternity. What you did unto others is what's going to happen to you for eternity. So if you were out there giving hope and you were sharing and, being a good person and everybody liked you and you're a well-liked person, that's what's going to be your gift on the other side. If you were an asshole and you went around intimidating people and beating them up, well, guess what? I got a nice little band of demons that'll do the dirty work for me and beat the shit out of you, and they're much bigger. You can't shoot them. There's nothing you can do. They will have their way with you and scare the living daylights out of any bully. I don't give a shit if you're Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson isn't going to have to go through that because he's not a bully. He just happens to have the job of a boxer. The heart of the man is actually a soft-hearted man. It's those hard, cruel-hearted, cold-hearted cocksuckers that are going to pay. Okay? And I slipped and used a term I usually don't use. Good at chasing some people off. I'm not here to offend you, but if it does offend you, well, then maybe you have an issue. Okay? I'm going to speak freely. I am done being conforming to the stupid ideology that produces this shit. Okay? I'm not conforming to man's stuff anymore. Cool. Anyways, there it goes. Yep, we're done. Spiritual attack just happened. I gotta go. Lights out. Until I come back. Oh, same thing happened in my last stream. Love y'all. God bless. Until my next video. Bye.